maybe I am crazy. There sure are a lot of crazy people in the rescue world, but I always thought that I had a good head on my shoulders and that my heart was in the right place and that I never overextend. The lady who runs a small wildlife rehab reached out to me that I've worked with before, placing chickens and roosters with her, and also she advised me when I was dealing with the wild rats. And she sent me a picture of a skinny pig at my local 29 Palms shelter. And so I reached out to Valerie at SoCal Guinea Pig Rescue, and she said that she could take him. We always watch out for skinny pigs because they have special needs that many people don't bother to learn about. And so I've been following this post that they posted on their website about 5 hours ago. Now they're closed to the public, and they don't open to the public until noon. And of course, by noon, I'm going to be gone tomorrow, volunteering at LAGPR and dealing with another situation also. But I was reading in the comments, and all sorts of people were tagging other people in the comments. One person even said, "Oh, this guinea pig would make a nice office pet." Well, they didn't say guinea pig. There was also an Oscar, which is a relatively large fish. And someone said, "We need an office pet." Now, I don't know how serious people are, whether they're talking about the guinea pig or they're talking about the Oscar. But just the carelessness of people and animals in the comments is not meant to turn into a rant. This is meant to be, I'm rushing over to see if I can get this piggy after hours. But they posted the Oscar needs a minimum of 55 gallons, and that's assuming that he's in his own tank. A minimum of 55 gallons, 75 they said would be better. And so then someone posted in the comments, because someone was tagged, and they replied, "Well, I have a 100-gallon tank or whatever. I have a tank that is being occupied currently with goldfish and koi. But if they're cool with me putting him in a 35-gallon, then I'll get him." And it's like, they already said 55 minimum, and they said they would prefer 75, and now you're talking about 35, which is less than half of what they say they prefer that he go into. When people want something, they're willing to cut all sorts of corners. And when that thing is another living creature, it's not right and it's not fair to them. So I replied to the people that were interested in the guinea pig. His name is Mitch. I replied, "Let us get him, and then you can reach out if you want to be a foster or you want to adopt. That way the rescue can assess if he's healthy, if he needs any medical treatment, whatever. We could do that before he's available for adoption." Because the shelter, they are wonderful people, but they are not equipped to handle and to diagnose most common guinea pig illnesses. And they just don't have the finances to give every guinea pig a checkup, a vet checkup, or every animal that comes in there, of which they have many, many, many animals. So I'm rushing over there right now to see if there's even some. They say that there's someone there at all times. I don't know if it's going to be the someone that will approve of this. So I may still have to come back tomorrow morning. And even then, it will be a couple hours before they technically open to the public. which in one way is an advantage because I just need to get there before somebody wants to stick them in a pet store cage in their office or in an empty aquarium or whatever. And I didn't want to say this to them, but they even posted in their Facebook post, it said, guinea pigs are a low maintenance pet and are great for first-time pet owners. And you could ask all the people who dropped their piggies off at the shelter after realizing that that's not the case, how they feel about that statement. And it's just that the shelter doesn't know, and they think that they're low maintenance pets because they treat them that way. And it's not the fault of the shelter, although I have given them the links to my care guide multiple times. But for some, and I know that they're busy, and I know that they're stressed, and I know that they're overworked, and I know all that. But it doesn't matter where the shelter is. It just seems like they have this aversion to learning about the proper care for each individual species that they are charged with. Years and years and years go by with these same officers, and it's a slap in the face to say that they're starter pets. But we gotta greet them with kindness. I need to build positive relationships, and their job is to save the life. Their job is to hold them there, and I hope that they reach out to me. It sucks that they didn't reach out to me directly, because we'll do what we can to find homes for them. Rescues, they go out of their way. They bend over backwards to help the shelters. And all we ask in return is to level up just a little bit on your knowledge and your care. And it seems like the only time they level up, like the enclosures, is when we leave one there. When we leave a cage there that's bigger than the cage they have. When we leave hay there that is more than what they have. And I just wish they would do better, but I'm grateful for what they do. I love those guys. I think they do such a great job. So it's hard to be critical. But these are the kind of things that perpetuate this problem. The lack of care, the continued bad experiences. Because that somebody that adopts from a shelter, generally, these are good people. They're not people that generally are going to make an impulse buy at the pet store and not do any research, or at least you would hope. But just like people trust the pet stores, they trust the shelters, and when they see the shelters, they see the pigs in like a 1 foot square pet store cage, then they think that's okay. And they trust that the shelter employees know what they're doing, but often the case they don't. All right, we're almost there. Doesn't look good. All the lights are off. They say that there's someone here 24 hours, but it doesn't look like there is anyone here. And I don't want to knock and get all the puppies upset. Alright, I guess I'll just have to be here in the morning. I would have really slept better if I would have been able to get him tonight. Alright, it's the morning and I'm headed back over to the shelter. And I've just been, I don't know why I let myself get so emotionally wrapped up in situations like this when I have no control. But someone else posted asking if because I mentioned that someone else could foster and then potentially adopt. I'm just trying to the people in the comments, when we say foster to adopt, that's just a good way of saying, okay, if you want them, then we can get them in your home. We will help you set up a proper cage and everything. And then if they're right for you, then you can, adopt. This person said, I've had many guinea pigs before and hairless rats. Now, rats and guinea pigs are completely different in the way you take care of them. So I could understand that someone would think, oh, hairless rats. I mean, there are many. A hairless rat probably needs a warm place to hide. But other than that, rats and guinea pigs have completely different behaviors, completely different diets, completely different cage and housing requirements. People say, oh, I'm experienced. And that may be true. But over a Facebook group chat, we have no way of verifying that. The shelter doesn't verify. The shelter doesn't have any minimum care requirements. And I would love to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, we're in this abandoned animal crisis because of that attitude. I've been volunteering at the LA Guinea Pig Rescue for over 12 years, facilitating adoptions for most of that time. And we don't want to prohibit people from adopting. We don't have these high care standards to prevent people from adopting. I would rather educate. There are just some people that they get it in their head, oh, these are starter pets, these are easy, these are for my kids, and then they check out, and no matter what you do, how you try to inspire them, how you try to get them to connect with these animals and see them as the sweet, loving, innocent, awesome animals that they are, they don't care. They are just another thing on the checklist. You'll see that sometimes with teachers, not all teachers, but teachers will say, I need a classroom pet, and it's just something on their checklist. And then they leave them in the classroom overnight. Not all teachers do that, and the ones that take the good care of their guinea pigs, those are awesome teachers. And I've said this many times, I was inspired. I learned about guinea pigs through my guinea pigs that were my third grade teacher's pets. And she was, long before we really knew what the right thing to do was, she was doing it pretty much the right way. So, but a lot of times those guinea pigs in the classrooms, they are not getting good care. A lot of times they're being ignored, or that care is put off to the students' responsibilities, and 99% of the time the adult is not paying any attention to the guinea pigs, never pays attention to them. Okay, good sign, they are open. The door is open, so grab my carrier. Hopefully we can make this happen. Hey. Oh no. Hello? This guinea pig isn't here. It makes me really nervous. Well, this is not the face of someone who's happy, who's had a successful guinea pig pull at the shelter. No, Mitch was adopted late yesterday afternoon, and the person there said all the things that I was afraid of. They're going to try to bond him with an already existing pair of guinea pigs, which has about a 0% chance of working out. And then the person who adopted him said, if that doesn't work, I've got a cage to put him in. And it was, and she pointed, she said, I've got a cage like that, which is one of the pet store cages. So he's either going to be bonded with another pair of boys, which isn't going to work. They're going to fight. And so then he's going to end up living side by side in a 1 foot by 2 foot pet store cage. I pleaded with them, please, when these pigs come in, reach out to me before they're available so we can prevent stuff like this. Because they don't have any care standards, as I've already ranted. So, unfortunately, this was sad. This was not my outcome. I'm heartbroken for him. There's not much I can do about it. I'd love to hear some words of encouragement in the comments, because I'm just a little down now, but I got to focus on everything else. I've got an adoption today at the rescue, so I've got a 3-hour drive, and then we're gonna find some other guinea pigs some homes. So the mission continues. All right, I'm really sorry that this was not the happy ending that I hoped for. All right, guys, see you next time.